And welcome back. Tonight we're going to be painting a S-crank 2.0 size, and what we're going to do is we're going to be painting a nickajack crystal pattern. And here's that pattern here. This is what we're shooting for. It's got a lot of flash. Uses a color shift. Actually, it uses 2 color shifts, and it really makes it a cool looking bait. So what we're going to do, we got the blank cleaned. I'm going to prime it white. Not a thick coat of primer, but enough to help make it stick and give it a good base coat. Alright, so now we'll let this dry. Alright, next what we're going to do is we're going to put a thin strip of black from here up. Not a whole heavy lot, except for maybe on the top. It's going to cover the top good. Alright, now we're going to go down a little bit below the midline, but we're going to let the overspray catch it, so hold the gun away. And then it's gonna taper out. I'm going to kind of taper it out good, feather it out. Alright, so that when we put our color shift and our coat on there, it'll kind of fade away. Alright, we're going to have to let this thing dry. Alright guys, we're back. We've got the bait dry. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some color shift on it. I'm going to put my netting over the top of it and lock it into the sponge as best I can where it don't move. Make sure the scales are lined up like I like them. Alright, I'm going to take this color shift. I've got it loaded in my gun. I've mixed this up myself, and I'm going to spray over the top of that and create a scale pattern. Make sure that bait's sitting right, and then I'm going to alright, hit it with a gun or heat. Alright, there's our scale pattern. Drop my heat. Gonna do the other side. Alright, I'm going to ease it off. Nice scale pattern. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my scale plates, my gill plates solid. Okay, now our bait is dry, and what I didn't cover was this color shift. It's called blue-green, and it comes with in a mica powder. I bought it on Amazon, and mixed it up, and you have to tinker with it and play with it to get what you want, the effect you want. So the next one I'm going to go over it with is actually from Vallejo, and it's the electric blue shifter. It's got an intense violet as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go over the top of the bait and I'm giving that an iridescence, and I'm gonna taper that down all the way down the shoulder there. All right. I'm also going to cover it on the sides, and I don't think you can see it even coming out of the gun. It's not a lot. I've got my air pressure way down. I'm spray a little on the belly, and it's really going to give it a cool effect. Spray it around the eye. Alright, I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll be back. Got the bait dry. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a light dusting of pearl gold from Createx over the top of the gill plate. So I like my gill plates to have a little flash, and you shouldn't be able to even really tell I'm putting gold on it. Honestly. Alright. Now what I'm going to do, I've got white loaded in my gun, and I'm going to take my base stencil for my shad dot. Start at the back. Give it a base, and I like my shad dots to be irregular as well. I mean, I do a different combination, but I cut my own stencils, so it makes it a little easier. I've got a laser that I cut them with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put some texture on that gill plate that we just covered up with gold, and you find the right spot of this texture stencil, which sometimes it's hard to find. Just breaking it up just a little bit. Okay. Now, I've got my stencil for my shad dot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at this edge of this stencil, and then I'm going to let it blend in by itself with the white. So I'm not going to cover the whole thing black. I think it makes a cool effect like that right there. It blends it in, gives it a pretty natural effect actually. Alright, we're going to have to let this bait rest. Alright, the bait's dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these eyes, and they are, I don't even really know what the name of these things are, but they're a directional eye. So you got to pay attention to your direction. They got a little blue holographic highlight in them. So I'm going to put them in there. Facing a little bit down, not with the small side, facing a little down. Alright, I'll put some gloves on because I don't want to touch the bait now. I don't want to get any oil on the bait at all, so when the UV goes on we won't have any spots that are not coated. So now what we'll do is I'll go ahead and coat this thing in UV, and I'll put it in the box, and I'll bring it back and we'll take a look at it. And then we'll have to put a second coat on I put a water slide on it, and then we'll do that, and then we'll take a final look. Alright guys, here's the finished bait. I don't know if you can see the color shift, but it really looks cool. It's got a green and gold and blue, and that electric blue on the top. And so I put 2 coats of UV on this thing. I put a coat on, put my water slide on, making my maker's mark, put another coat on, and then I came back and coated the bill, cleared it up. So these baits will hit the website, popscustomworkshop.com. They should be on there before I get this video up, so if you're interested, take a look. And you might find some other baits on there, or some other products. I don't do just fishing lures. I've got a bunch of different things on there, turkey calls and stuff like that. So so give me a like and a follow here on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.